to review some books. My top 5 books for 2020. I know some people were asking me about it. So yeah. But before I get to the top 5, an honorable mention to a few books that I read. First one, The Guernsey Literary Potato Peel Pie Society. It's a great fiction book. It's all written in letters, set in World War II, and there's a great movie on Netflix about it. So definitely recommend. Very good book. Another shout out, fiction, Beautiful Ruins, set in kind of jumps between eras from the 60s to modern times, following all these different people in Italy. It's just a very nice, feel-good novel in the end, so I think it's really beautiful. So shout out to that one. And I didn't actually read it for the first time in 2020, but I reread it because it's my favorite book, the one I recommend the most. So Atomic Habits by James Clear. I like it so much because everything I do is related to habits, what we do. So I definitely wanted to give a shout out again because I reread it, and I think it's the most transformative book I've ever read. So it changed my life. It helped me build better habits. So there you go. But anyway, top 5 books of 2020 that I read that I think I would recommend. Number 5, I mean, they're not in order, but A Brief History of Time by Stephen Hawking. Definitely just talks about the universe, the origins of the universe, and everything related to cosmology and everything related to what we are and the pursuit of the grand history of everything, a grand theory of everything, combining general relativity and quantum mechanics. It's just a easily and accessible book to complicated topics, and I really enjoyed it. 4, Behave by Robert Sapolsky. It's kind of a thick book, but it has everything to do with humans and why we do what we do. So I think it's definitely introspective in terms of knowing the biology of a lot of behaviors and understanding yourself and whether humans are innately good or bad, and hormones and like the neurotransmitters in your brain that affect behavior, and how context matters so much. Like, people think that testosterone leads to certain things and dopamine leads to certain things, but it actually changes with context. So it's just really cool for understanding yourself and people. Number 3, I think, Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker, PhD. It just changed my view of sleep, something that we all, like every single species on planet Earth, does and will continue to do, and it's so important. And it will definitely redefine how I protect my sleep and get their sleeping habits, and understanding the true purpose of something that we all do, but we just don't really acknowledge because we just turn off the lights and we become unconscious for 8 hours, hopefully for 8 hours, and then we just wake up and we're like continue with our lives. But so it was really, really, really eye-opening. Number 2, I actually read it on my phone, so I don't have the copy, but How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Again, it's all about human connection and how to better deal with people, which I think is kind of like a lost art, and it's so important in terms of like networking and relationships, and in terms of just dealing with people. It really changed how I approach people, and it's not like a manipulation, but it gives you a better sense of interactions with people. So How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And the number 1 book of 2020, nah, just kidding. I like to say. Now, the number 1 book of 2020 is Man's Search for Meaning by Dr. Viktor Frankl, for obvious reasons. I mean, I think it's very popular, but it just talks about a man who was a psychiatrist who went through the Holocaust and all these different camps, and was able to survive it, first of all, but to extract meaning out of suffering and all these different experiences, and to reframe it and actually create a whole new psychology field just based on that. So I think it's one of the most, if not the most, introspective book that I've ever read in terms of learning how to turn suffering into something meaningful and pursuing life purpose. So yeah, those are my top 5 books of 2020 because other people ask me. So hopefully you've either read them or you want to read them. definitely enjoy them. And now for 2021, I have my new reading list, so I'm excited to get through that. But yeah, ciao, siempre la observado. Get your copy.